I'm Natasha Owens from West Kirby on the Wirral, and I'm 45. Me and my husband have not been intimate since I was 30, so that's 15 years this year. We've not been able to have sexual contact at all, and it's not because I don't want to or I'm rejecting him, it's because it's medically not possible. And when I was 13, I should have gone through things at puberty that I should have gone through, but unfortunately I was feeling quite strange, and I was getting headaches, and I was feeling quite hot and sweaty quite a lot of the time. When it was about 14, 15, when girls are chatting at school as they do, I'm kind of thinking, oh, I don't think I've gone through puberty properly. Things hadn't started a natural period at all, but kept thinking, I'd read stories that people start late, so I thought, oh, that'll probably be me, that's fine. I'll deal with it when I need to deal with it. Started feeling quite a lot worse. At that point I thought, I don't think I can have children, and I think that's what stuck in my head for ages, I thought. So when I left school, I planned to go and seek medical help. I thought, I'll get school out the way, definitely need to go and do that, and that was all fine. And then unfortunately I went out on a night out and I came back alone, which I did quite a lot. Probably shouldn't have done that, and unfortunately I was raped. Due to that, my life sort of spiralled a little bit out of control. I decided, oh, this isn't going to happen, me going to the GP. I was dealing with in my head that I wasn't normal, as well as I probably can't have children, and now I was dealing with being attacked as well, which not a lot of people know about me anyway, about that part of my life. It is a massive secret. So I actually ploughed into my hairdressing career, and I actually went down the line of a lot of alcohol and a lot of drugs. I used to go clubbing every weekend. I've even got friends that will probably actually say now, that's why you did that, because I was happy then when I was high. So I did 2 seasons in Ibiza, and then the second season I met my husband, and I'd not met anybody like my husband before, so I thought, if there's going to be a future, then I need to be honest really and just say what had happened to me, and that I don't think I can have children. So I went out there, came back, went out there for a holiday, and we had 2 weeks together, and he just accepted me for who I am. He just said, I'm in love with you, not for what you can give me or what I can get out of you. I love you, warts and all sort of thing. So we'll, if there's a future, we'll sort this out, which we did. We came back, we got engaged quite quickly, and we went to a fertility clinic, and they were actually awful. And it wasn't up here on Wirral, it was actually down south. No, you're in early menopause, which you would have been at 13 as well. You can't have children. Here's the IVF form for egg donation, no counselling. We were literally pushed out the door, and that was it. So that was traumatic on its own. So we decided there and then that we would adopt, and intercourse was quite painful, and things weren't quite right, although they had been fine, and suddenly they weren't. So we went to the Liverpool Women's Hospital, and they were amazing, and I was diagnosed quite quickly with a biopsy that I had a skin condition called lichen planus, because there's 2 parts of the disease. Mine's developed at the moment. That was fine, but it got progressively worse, and it got really, really sore, and things were altering for a lady. That went on for quite a few years, and we seemed to struggle through, although we weren't able to be intimate for some reason. It just wasn't happening. And then I must have been about early 40s, and I became quite poorly again. I ended up having an ultrasound scan where I was I was bleeding internally, and it was trapped in the pelvis. They didn't know why, because I wasn't having periods on the patch I was on, because it was a bleed-free patch, so we still don't even know now why I was internally bleeding. So I was put down for an emergency hysterectomy, which I had within 3 weeks. Everything was removed, and he said everything was really, really small and underdeveloped. He actually did test for a condition called Turner syndrome, which he thought I could have been born with, but it came back negative. So that was, it's still a box not ticked, but it was just with what he found, because it was so small. So that was fine. Got over the hysterectomy quite quickly actually, and I ended up being a volunteer on the ward, helping other patients like myself or cancer patients. And then within about 8 months I became poorly again, and I thought, I don't feel right again. It's a different type of pain, but it was a pain on sitting. I couldn't sit on anything because it was so painful. So I had an MRI scan, and that showed that I then had part of my vagina at the bottom was full of, at this point it's turned to erosive light and paleness, which is internally, and it's all ulcers. And the top part of the vagina was full of trapped fluid. We don't know why that was there. It might have been from the hysterectomy, we don't know. So quite quickly he called to say, we'll have to give you a vaginectomy, which is most of my vagina removed, which was a little bit of a shock. It's normally for stage 4 cancer, or in rare cases like myself with erosive light and plainness. They couldn't take every single bit out, otherwise it would have affected my urethra, and I probably would have at that point might have ended up with a urostomy bag. So he took me in, and he's taken most of it out. That seems to be fine, and I'm still left with a small part in which has got the disease in it, unfortunately, because it was too dangerous to take out. But I've actually got it in my mouth, in my left ear, and all over the vulva. So I'm entering my 4th operation of division of labia skin, because it keeps sticking together, the whole thing. So all of the issues that I've had regards to health, surgery, and the erosive light and plainness is, from what I believe, or I've been told, is due to premature ovarian insufficiency at 13.